Oh, hello and welcome. Welcome to the pet room. I'm going to do a demonstration on the magic eraser. So what I think I'm going to do right now, oops, that's my finger. I don't need to be really in this. I'm going to move this and tweak this a little wee bit so that you can better see this dusty, rusty, crusty machine. Oh, and I've done this a time or two before, and indeed this magic eraser has a little previous stuff on it from some other adventure, but not much. It looks in pretty fine shape. But the other thing, of course, I'm going to do, by the way, with the magic eraser, you don't lose any cleaner or solvent. You just wet this basically sponge thing, squeeze it out, and at the moment, I'm also going to turn this off. And if you want to see what sort of difference it can make in short order, I'm going to go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little wee bit. And you'll see there is filth. Now, does this machine come up remarkably remarkable? Not at all. We're going to run this across here, where I'm hopeful the alteration or the change will be more dramatic, and I think it is. Ooh, now that is filth. Filth, 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 filth. Now, with great care and reverence, I'm going to run this across the nameplate. Now, some of this has definitely been damaged. I'm being, oh, maybe is it getting better or worse from what I'm doing? I'm not sure. I'm going to go with that M a little bit. Hard to tell. Certainly the pet area is looking, well, not as great as I would like to think. I mean, it's coming better, coming up better, but it's still, you know, filthy. Filthy, 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 filthy. But that is the nature of this machine. It is filthy. Whoa. Oh, look at that. Filthy, dusty, horrible. This, well, let's see, this machine might end up being one that stays. Because in a world of, like, if I've got it working but it's ugly, maybe I'd rather keep it and use it and send other machines off to new homes. Sort of like keeping the runt of the litter. Anyway, I'm just rinsing the sponge, the magic eraser again. And now I will put a little more pressure on some of this stuff here. I will. I'm not putting much pressure on there. I am not. Certainly the monitor, around the monitor, is also filthy. Everything is filthy. Even the filth is filthy. The little ledge right at the front of the monitor is filthy. Down the side is filthy. Oh, I haven't even done. Oh, I can't really get at that. I've got the water over here. I'll run this down the crusty side, and it is just turning grossness. But really, if you have, and I've shown already examples of this, a really, 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 really dirty old machine, it can be brought back as basically as long as there's not terribly scratches or huge things into it, it can look a whole lot better. Even one key at a time will help turn these filthy, filthy keys mostly white again. The sponge is not so lucky. But certainly, I mean, when I say clean the keyboard, yeah, this is good. But this does nothing to make the keys work better. It just makes them not so incredibly filthy, which these are incredibly, horribly filthy, 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 filthy. Ugh. There's stuff coming out of them. But it's coming along. And you can, as long as you're careful not to do too terrible things, you can just run down the face of the keys, just don't catch any, don't break any. Now this doesn't do much for the front or anything else, but the tops sure look a whole lot better than they did a moment ago. This keyboard, when it comes apart, it's coming apart. As in, everything out, everything soaked, everything, everything, everything. Now I suppose, if I'm careful, I can shuffle this over. Very careful. I'm already starting to drop things. Like this data set thing. Alright, over on this side is incredible, incredible filth. Now the monitor doesn't look terrible, but in a moment it's going to look a whole lot better. And there is the dirt just from there. Now this side is not likely to get a whole lot better. I know there's rust, I know it, but there's also filth. Filth, filth, filth. And down this side, there's a whole whack of it. Yuck. Anyway, it does seem that of all things, probably the monitor coming out the best. Who knows in the grand scheme of things if it ends up that I'm sort of piecing some machines together. Maybe the monitor from this will end up on something else. Maybe, possibly. Ugh. Okay. Let's see here. I'll give this another big swipe. And indeed, a lot of it comes out looking pretty okay. So really, when it comes to this machine, it does seem that it's really the middle part, as well as I guess the bottom. The bottom certainly has signs of rust in the back. The monitor, oh my golly, look at that. Just a few little swipes. The monitor might be the best of the bunch. Alright, we'll rinse, squeeze, rinse, and squeeze. Ugh. And I'm going to be incredibly careful. I'm going to set this on top of the data set. Ugh, the water is filthy. Come over. That's not good. To the far side of the monitor and rub it down. And see what we see here. And it's much the same, pretty clean compared to the rest of what was going on. There does seem to be some stuff on the top. But the bezel doesn't look bad. It doesn't. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm being careful not to, drain tons of water. Like when I do the sponge thing, I do squeeze it out pretty well. So there isn't like water dripping down inside. Anyway, it's funny how, like just going across here a number of times, I see that things are looking better and better. They are. I'll give this another rinse. And we'll go down the far side again. Let's see how it comes up. Okay. Ugh. Well, that's not bad. Much better. So it's not as dusty and crusty. It's still rusty. But you can only do what you can do. A magic eraser will not do anything for things that like scratches and horrible, horrible, horrible things. It will not. Okay. So we'll squeeze things out. Give a little bit more here. That name thing might be able to be refastened. Another little stretch across here. But for the moment, I'm just going to add a spot here that I think makes it better. For the moment, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. I'm going to be brave and give another run over the pet thing here. See what happens. And it is pretty much as good as it's going to get right now. So I will put that away. I will dump the water and we'll see you again back in the pet room. Bye for now.